everybody. Happy Friday.
Yeah, happy Friday. Wow.
It's been a great week.
Yes, it has.
Oh my goodness.
Yes, it has.
What a week it has been. It's been good, bad, and different, and everything in between. So, but here we are. We've actually really enjoyed coming on and talking to you guys. It's actually been really therapeutic for us as well. And we really are loving the feedback we're getting too.
Well, I just saw, hey, Robert, Robert, you guys make me smile. Robert, that's awesome.
Hey,
man.
Robert.
You light up our day with your notes, your comments, and what you're bringing out in the world too, man. It is awesome.
Absolutely.
Awesome.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Wow. So we were, so first off, I'm John.
I'm Sandy.
Yeah. And we were a little, we were a little tight on time. You want to share?
Yeah, so I owe you an apology for if we feel a little bit flustered here. I was on a discovery call before we popped on, and I get very excited in these calls because I'm generally talking to someone about if we're a good fit for coaching. And I just fall so in love with my clients. And anyway, I was running a little behind. To me, it was right on time, but to him, not so much. So I want to remind you that in the masculine, that they're masters of time and space. So for John, John's like, we have to be on at this time. We gave them our word of noble character, 11:15. We are absolutely not going to be late.
That's right.
And I don't care what else is going to happen. And that can seem very rigid, right? That can seem very rigid. And it can be, right? It can. And when I choose to see it through the lens of he's a master of time and space, he's trying to keep us safe. He wants to honor all these people that are actually listening and paying attention to what we're doing. We gave them our word. I can shift from being pissed off at him to see God in him, to see the reasons why I fell in love with him in the first place. Because, well, did you wear this shirt on purpose? Warrior, because he's my warrior. But I also want to honor the masculine in all of us. But so can I tell them what I did?
You can. Absolutely.
Okay, hold on a second. Hold on. So I had this master class last night. We were talking about joy. So I like to always show my pom-poms. So when John gets a little too rigid, and it happens, he's an INTJ, if you guys know anything about that. So he can be a little rigid.
I don't consider it rigid. I just consider it
right.
On purpose.
He considers
That's
it right.
Right.
So what I did is in the midst of us, adjusting to get everything, with all these cameras or whatever on us right now, is I just grabbed my pom-poms and I just did like a little, go John. And just something so he'll start laughing versus being serious John. And it lights him up, and actually it changes the mood. And the key is that we're going to change our state. It's something super, super, super fun to do. It's something simple to do, but just to add some levity to what's going on. And a lot of it is just literally about just seeing God and the other person, and always assuming that they're doing the best they can. So that's what that's about.
And it is actually the second time today that I got lit up by Sandy's feminine joy. So I want to share a story this morning. I was also off schedule this morning. So as much as I'm the master of time and space at times, this morning I was off a little bit because we woke up and I was watching Sandy this morning, and she was getting ready, and she had a song playing full blast, and she was dancing around the room. And I woke up in the morning just with this list of here's all the things that need to get done and the times we need to do them and how much work needs to be done. And I started feeling this sense of masculine burden. And it doesn't just men, you know what I'm talking about when I talk about masculine burden, but it's not just men. A lot of times married women, single women, especially when they're, you're dealing with everyone from school, where you got kids home and you're now homeschooling all of a sudden, and you've got this whole schedule of where the kids need to go throughout the whole day, not just to, when we're out of quarantine, soccer practice and baseball practice and everything else. And you can begin to feel this sense of burden. So anyhow, the antidote is exactly what she did with the pom-poms, and exactly what I saw this morning with her dancing around, her heart open, full of joy. I'll tell you what, it has such an immediate impact on us as men, as anyone dealing with masculine burden. That blast of joy, that blast of love is unbelievable.
Yeah. And I want to say too, let me interject for a second, is that we're not just talking about, a man with the men parts. I'm saying that when you're in this masculine place where you're feeling that burden, if you are overwhelmed by Common Core math, or that you're working the sales job over here, or maybe you just lost your sales job, you actually do something so that to light yourself up. It's great. And I appreciate that he appreciates me, but there's something we can do too, so we can lighten up before we bring that to our partner, before we bring that to our kids, before we bring that to our next Zoom date. If you're dating and you're single right now, I mean, we can actually light. It's our responsibility to light ourselves up, and then therefore then we light more up in the world. So that may seem very basic, and it kind of is, because it actually isn't as hard as we make it.
Yeah, and Ben, look, you can do the same when you recognize this in your partner. Doing something unexpected, granted, my dance moves, you don't want to see me dance. It's nowhere near the impact that Sandy has on me. But come in, grab her hand, twirl her around, give her a drop back, like one of those fancy drop backs that you do, and just kind of drop her back, or pin her up against the wall, hold her arms, kiss her. Do something unexpected. Yeah.
I like that.
Do something unexpected.
Yeah.
There you go. Got some comments on that one.
Yeah.
So do something unexpected and light her up, right? And look, the gift you all can each bring to each other is this gift of joy, this gift of lighting each other up, lifting the burden that people may be facing. And just do it in love.
Yeah, and I can say too, what a great opportunity now. I mean, all of our children, our 3 kids, they actually live in their own spaces. They're in college, and so they don't live at home. So we'll admit that this quarantine time has looked very different for us than it has for many of you. But what we do love is that we get a bird's eye view of some of our clients that have 2, 3 kids or so at home, and they are married, and this is a great time for them to actually bring love and how do you do life together. And so we've had them, the kids are actually seeing some fun between the parents now. We've given them permission that if you're washing dishes to do a little smack on the tushy, it's okay to kiss in front of your children. I mean, let them see that, what love looks like, and even if, for me, like I mentioned yesterday, I think it was yesterday, that my son, who's 20, when he comes home now and hears laughter in the house and he sees us kissing and he still is like, oh, Mom, really? Get a room. But he actually has also told me, as I mentioned too yesterday, that he's appreciating what's going on in our home. So let's train these kids that it's actually okay, that there to be some love and some fun in the midst of all of this.
Yeah. Absolutely. Yeah. Absolutely. I mean, look, it's all real. And, he'll see, your son Cameron will see us with, he'll see us sometimes not be in a love and joy moment, and totally. Got some energy going there.
Yeah,
I mean, it's beautiful to let your kids see that's going to happen, and you know what? There's also this love, this joy, this excitement, this passion. That's also a huge part of it, and a much bigger part of it.
Yeah, you brought up something that I know I'm a little off topic, but it is, but it isn't. Everybody has a model of the world, like a blueprint, the way they were raised. And for all of you that are becoming partners later in age, because it's your first, second, third, fifth marriage, whatever it is, and now you're looking for your forever partner, or whether you've been married for 20-something years and you've been running this same program. For me, my parents never fought. It was like one day what happened, my dad and my mom let us know that he was leaving. And so I was one that wanted to avoid fighting for a very long time in partnership. And so to be able to openly have a disagreement in front of family, I'm like my son, but also give them the gift of what making up looks like. Also in this quarantine time, I see that a lot of people are feeling very anxious, and they're in fear, in a place of fear, because fear is energy, just like love is energy, just like joy is energy. So what are your kids going to remember about the coronavirus, that the parents are freaking out and, the Chicken Little, the world's going to end, or the sky's falling, whatever that nursery rhyme is. Are they going to see that, yes, that's out there, but we're going to choose life. We're going to choose light. We're going to choose, hey, Crystal, we're going to choose to actually, hey, Mary Lynn, Grace Spence, hello to you. My goodness, what a nice surprise. Anyway, what are your kids going to remember this? That's a choice. So that's a total choice. It doesn't mean we don't wash our hands. It doesn't mean that we don't pay attention to what's happening, but give our kids this gift. Give yourself this gift.
Yeah, and it's kind of interesting. I love how this kind of evolved and went down a path, because this wasn't our original topic, but it made me think of something too, baby, which is, You know, when when Sandy shared what she went through with a parent, and they never fought, and so she thought you avoid fight. I came from a complete opposite perspective of I saw my parents fighting before they got divorced, and so I thought, okay, you've got to avoid fighting at all cost as well, but for a different reason. Like we never can fight, and so my immediate thing was you got to placate the fight. You got to placate and end it. And so look, having your kids see the real. Having your kids see, you know what, we're going to go through difficult times together, and we're going to have love and passion and joy and excitement, all these other positive things that go with it. It's going to do so much, regardless of what you went through. It's going to do so much for them, and it's going to do so much for you.
It also has immense polarity, because if you're just going through life walking on eggshells and not able to step up, there's not a lot of hotness in that. There's definitely not a lot of sex in that. And even if you decide you don't want to have sex, which I don't know why you would ever make that decision, but there is some excitement, and there needs to be something to push against. And I don't mean violence, but I mean that's why opposites do attract. And so there's ways that you can actually articulate that. You can play with the energies, and we'll talk more about that. We go deep with our clients, but we'll go as much as we can in this forum.
Yeah. So we just want to share a little bit of that. We also I want to recognize everyone who showed up on the masterclass last night. We had such an incredible turnout. I absolutely adore getting to see Sandy and getting to see the women up on screen that are just lit up. Especially when they came back from the embodiment exercise that you did. And I also want to honor every single woman that showed up to the masterclass and man who showed up to the masterclass last night, because joy is so important. And we led with, kind of the impact that joy has, but joy is so important right now. Choosing joy, finding joy, and just sharing that joy it's an absolute gift you can bring to the world right now.
Yeah, I had a great time. So I'm looking forward to all the women that are joining our sisterhood that's starting in a couple weeks. And so it's still not too late to actually have a discovery call with me. But yeah, it was a beautiful night, and I love teaching and serving, and I love that we're letting others know that they can embody joy. They can embody joy. They can be joy. They can be love. They can also be all the other. They can grieve, and they can actually move that through their bodies. So the sisterhood is we're taking applications for that, and John's got his own programs. But thank you, honey, for that. Yeah. I appreciate him. Yeah. I appreciate you honoring me. So thank you. Yeah,
I love you so much, babe.
Really,
one last thing, men. I do have that men's group starting on Monday. It is a gift for everyone. If you're interested, DM me. I'll get you the link and the details.
Awesome.
All right.
You guys have a great day. See you.
Take care.
Bye-bye.